Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Kenya Media YouTube channel. And as usual, I'm going to be your host, and thank you so much for your great support that you are showing me on this platform. Now, my fellow Kenyans, you are not going to believe this. President William Ruto have been forced to have a crisis meeting with security chiefs and State House advisory amid the rise of the dead bodies from Quickmart. Bodies are being collected. When this event was being organized, they thought that it was just an easier. They thought that, tutaplan hivi kishafanyika, tutasema ni Rigathi Gachagua ndio imefanya hivi. So right now, things are now backfiring to the government of William Samoei Ruto, where some of the street boys earlier today were spotted confessing how they witnessed 32 bodies being driven to city mortuary here in Nairobi. Then we are being fooled up with Kimani Chungwa that the goons that goes to loot at Quickmart left their IDs. Can that one happen? No, let us just face this issue the way it is. Can it happen, ladies and gentlemen? Kwani hiyo ni mwizi aina gani? Ama hiyo ni goon aina gani? How can you go and steal somewhere, then you left your ID there? These people are just fooling the people of Kenyans. The looting was well stage managed by the government of William Samoei Ruto to achieve a certain project in politics. I want you to watch these two videos. The first video is for the street boy confessing, and the second video is for Professor Fred Ogola narrating what happened at Quickmart. Watch these videos.
Kwa zimekufa, ukipeleka mochari.
Nani alikuwa ulipeleka wapi?
Unapeleka mocha. Walikufa wakuwa 32.
Wale wana.
Wako
Professor Fred Ogola, I'm one of the commissioners for People's Restorative Justice Commission. Yesterday was an eyewitness to what happens inside Quickmart OTC supermarket. I went right inside. The policemen were all over the place. They were not allowing people to access the area, but even walk in that street nearby. We ate a lot of tear gas, but with a lot of resilience, I managed to get up to inside the supermarket. I also managed to talk to some eyewitnesses who observed the thing that happened between 4 p.m. on 25th up to very end yesterday, and they had a narrative they gave me. When I went to the supermarket, that narrative was confirmed. Now, this is the thing. When I arrived at the supermarket, I found that all the goods were more or less all intact. The sugar, coffee, ungangano, name it, all the properties which were there were all more or less intact. There could also be electronic things which were there, which were not taken. I even went inside the manager's office, nothing was taken. And you hope that normally when people are looting, the easiest thing to loot is money. The manager's office was never broken into, nothing was taken, even his computers were intact. He was even able to take the photos of those things. But I saw later that news came out that there was nobody in the supermarket from Citizen, NTV, TV47 and the rest. I want to tell Kenyans that the story which is being told in the media currently is not true. This is what we need to believe. From the eyewitness report, people broke into the supermarket and entered, and he gives the number to be approximately 50 people, if not more. And after that, what followed was that the policemen tear gassed the place seriously. So there's a lot of tear gas that entered the supermarket. Unfortunately, that supermarket has very poor ventilation. And I'm sure you can go look at the walls. Just look at the walls yourself. There's not even poor. There was no ventilation because the supermarket was locked by that time. That means that these people must have been suffocated by tear gas and died. When the policemen discovered that the tear gassing the supermarket when people are inside without ventilation was dangerous and the people are dead, then they came up now. Murkomen went on site. The policemen cordoned the area so that they can remove the bodies is when they allowed the media to go in. Why didn't the policemen allow the media to go inside with them at the same time? Why was the media entering the place around 6 p.m. when they knew very well in the morning when Murkomen was there, there are bodies inside there? So don't believe that story at all. Secondly, we do not want photos taken by the media after the event. We want CCTV footage coverage from 25th 4 p.m. until 26th 6 p.m. uninterrupted, because the same way they deceived us that Ojwang hit his head on the wall and then could not give us the CCTV footages. It is when we got the CCTV footage of Mbagathi Hospital that the truth came. So that's where we stand. As far as I'm concerned, I'm asking Kenyans, if you left with anybody going for Mandamano, check whether your neighbor is there. Is there any missing people? Once we know there are missing people, the fact that I was told before I went inside, I didn't see any blood spots, so no one was shot inside the supermarket and died there. Also, the story that people were killed outside and brought inside the supermarket does not add up, because there was no spot of blood inside the supermarket. The only likely theory and the only likely fact could be that people died of suffocation from gas, tear gas thrown by the police, because there was no ventilation. So that's the truth. Now, the second thing I want to...
That is how things are now happening in Nairobi. Things are now being exposed the way they happened. On the first day, 8 people were announced dead. The second day, another 30 bodies were found at Quickmart after the nationwide protest the second day. Then again today, another 32 bodies have been found on the same place. Where are we heading as a country? That is the question. Where are we heading as a country? Which plan are we having for this country of Kenya for future reference? Because the way things are now going, I don't think if Kenya will change from these rogue crimes, from these crimes that the people of Kenyans are facing each and every day. Because the work of the police officers in the Republic of Kenya is to enforce law and order. And the gun they are holding is to save life, but not to take life. So this issue of politics is a dirty game. Politics is so expensive. Politics is so risky. Just witness what is happening under politics. Politics is the cause of all these challenges that the people of Kenyans are undergoing. Legacy politician is the big problem. Politician is the cause of all problems that the people of Kenyans are undergoing in the Republic of Kenya. I'm not afraid to update you, ladies and gentlemen. That is the truth and that is the reality. The government need to accept that the country is angry. When they were organizing these things, what they were staging all these dramas, things were just okay. That it all tutafanya hivi, tukishafanya hivi, tutasema ni Rigathi Gachagua ndiye alikuwa anafanya hivi. Ili wananchi wajue kwamba huyu Rigathi Gachagua ambaye anawania kiti ya urais sio leader mzuri, sio mtu mzuri kabisa. But things have totally backfired. Things have totally backfired. The truth is now out about how the government stage managed the protest. The goons to loot people's property so that they can achieve a certain something on politics. It was all about politics. Those shops that were looted, vehicles that were burned, those things were scripted with the government to achieve something in politics ahead of 2027 election, to paint a bad picture under the opposition leaders so that Kenyan can witness that all opposition leaders that are aiming to be on power in the next general election, these people cannot lead this country of Kenya. That is how things are happening. See you in the next video, and may God bless you, Kenyans. Bye-bye.